Now, you might not be able to tell by the weather today, but according to ancient legend, summer has started. Last weekend, as much of the UK basked in glorious sunshine, here at Abbotsbury Swannery in Dorset, the staff weren't surprised at all, because it's said that the arrival of the first cygnet marks the start of summer. And that legend is just a part of the remarkable history of the Swannery. Established in the 11th century by Benedictine monks, they reared the swans for lavish banquets. But in the 12th century, the Crown, incensed by the commoners eating their favourite banquet treat, claimed all the mute swans in Britain. And whilst they can no longer be eaten, it's also a criminal offence to harm swans in any way. So, with all these tiny cygnets around, I better be careful where I step. The Swannery was founded at the behest of King Canute, he of commanding the waves fame. But ironically, last weekend he would have sympathised as rising water threatened the lives of the cygnets, and there was a desperate race against time to save them.
This last weekend we had a really difficult weekend. The water came up very high. We had a wind pushing water from Portland all the way up the lagoon to Abbotsbury here, and half the nest site was underwater. So eggs were submerged, and we spent both days racing around, bolstering nests, trying to elevate them and taking eggs from the water and making sure they had a chance.
Were you able to save them all?
We think we saved the vast majority. We know that one nest was completely lost. One nest, the eggs were washed away completely, and then gulls took the eggs. But we think that we were successful. We'll know soon.
And we all know how protective the swans are of their eggs, so that must have made things even more difficult.
Indeed, I mean, they were really worried anyway. They knew their eggs were being saturated, but they don't like us going that close.
And all your efforts paid off, because after all your heroism trying to protect these eggs, these guys came through.
Absolutely, and we hope and expect many, many more to be hatching and doing well.
And with so many new mouths to feed, feeding time can get quite hectic. The swans here are fed 3 times a day, so I've come along to help with today's lunchtime feed. So what is this food then? Is this the kind of thing that they would eat if they were in the wild?
Not exactly, this is wheat.
Right.
They eat all sorts of vegetation, but there's lots of good weed growing on the bed of this lagoon. And the lagoon is amazing. It's 8 miles long, stretching all the way down to Portland. So here at Abbotsbury, we're offering a little supplement really. But at any time they can drift down the lagoon and they can easily reach the weed because it's so shallow. It's only a metre deep normally. This is the most amount of swans I've seen at one place together. How many would you say you've got here at this swannery? Well, at this time of year overall there's between 500 and 600. More should arrive before July. We find,
wow, more?
Oh yes, swans come in from local counties, the Somerset Levels, Devon and Dorset rivers. They arrive before they molt. They come to take advantage of this lagoon.
Right.
They must know that they're going to molt all their flight feathers and be flightless for 5 weeks until new feathers grow.
So they make their way here?
They do. They seem to, word gets around.
So swans can make their way here, but yet at the same time this is enclosed. So is this is this a zoo of sorts?
Not at all. No, these are all free birds. They can leave at any time, they can fly, they can drift down the lagoon, they're free. They're
really?
only here because they want to be here.
I'm sure the Queen would be delighted to know that thanks to the quick thinking of the swan herds here at Abbotsbury, most of the cygnets were saved, because if not, the day of their birth could have been their swan song.